You're listening to the Gab Street Podcast, Columbus, Ohio's #1 podcast for underground talent. Every week we have new conversations with interesting individuals who contribute to the Columbus economy and its lively culture. You may find just what you're looking for right in your backyard. Let's get right into it. Welcome back to the Gab Street Podcast. We have a special edition today. We got noises happening at the fucking beginning. This is how Gab Street goes. You're going to hear the cat meowing here in a little bit. It's going to be awesome. This is how professional we are. So, we have an artist and a suicide awareness advocate with us today. His name is R. Kim. Say hello.
Hello, hello.
And your brand is 3 semicolons. How would you describe that brand? How do you say the name, first of all? I don't want to misnomer it.
So there really is no name for it. I just sort of took, the semicolon's kind of from what I understand, a pretty well recognized, I guess, symbol for mental health and suicide awareness. So
a continuation of sorts.
Yeah. So my kind of take on it is, the reason I put 3 is, when you see the 3 periods, it means, to be continued. And the whole point behind the semicolon, the singular semicolon, is basically saying like your story has no end. Basically saying, it's not over. Keep trucking, keep going on. And so the reason I did 3 is just sort of emulate the 3 periods, just in my own little take on it. But yeah, it doesn't really have a name, but I created it with my homie Derek, and shout out Derek. Shout out Derek. He's cool. He's from Orlando. I actually have never met him, but I'm actually flying out with my dad to Orlando in about a week here, so I get to meet him.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, pretty excited for that. But
I know the online friend grind. That's cool.
It's cool.
That's awesome. So what's the story behind this brand? What was the inspiration for you to make the actual action?
So I guess I'll start with a little bit about me. I mean, I grew up in an area where mental health was never really a thing, never really a topic of conversation.
It's a lot of places.
Yeah. I grew up in Indiana, actually, and I came here for college. The first person I met was this guy named Ryan, and he was my best friend from day one, really, in college. And junior year, we were living together with a couple other guys, and we never really saw any signs of struggling with him. And I mean, you can ask anyone, he was the nicest, most cheerful person around. He was always giving, and never really asked for much. He was just kind of the guy that everyone went to talk to, everyone was having fun with. And one day, 3 a.m., we get knocks on the doors, and it's the cops asking us, do we know where he is? And no one knew. We just thought he was with his parents. And they told us that he had taken his own life. And, it was kind of a shock. And it took me a while, honestly, probably a couple months, I'd say, at the very least, to really grasp that concept, like, he's gone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to see him again. And I just saw how it affected everyone, and it affected a ton of people because he impacted an uncountable amount of people. And it was really crazy to see. I mean, I had my own personal hurt, but I knew that everyone else had their own hurt. But, I may not be the largest artist in Columbus or really in general, but what I wanted to do, I guess, is create some type of message or conversation with whatever platform I had. And so, I mean, I wanted my first tattoo to be something meaningful, and I got that on my wrist.
Show it to the camera.
Right there.
Yeah.
And
let's kick ass.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And then a couple months ago, me and my friend Derek made this, and I guess after he took his own life, I mean, I just don't want anyone to feel how I felt, how anyone else felt. I mean, I can't speak on anyone else. I can only know what they told me. But I just felt really, I'm going to use the word alone. But I was never alone. I mean, I had a good support system, but there were so many people that I could tell if it affected really, really drastically, just like it hurt me. And, I guess with this, I just wanted to start the conversation. It's actually funny. I'm a middle school basketball coach for a rec league, and I had a practice yesterday, and I was wearing a shirt, one of the shirts I have, and he came up to me and he goes, "What's your obsession with semicolons?" And I was like, it's not really a story for right now. But
I'm an English major.
I can talk to you later. And so I actually never got the chance to talk to him about it because his mom came, but I mean, it was just really right there is what I wanted to do. You know, start the conversation, whether I can have it or not. But
explain your tattoo to everybody. I thought that was really cool.
So I've got the semicolon on the side, and then I've got 2 lines that connect. I don't know if you can see that right there.
I'll zoom in on it. Cool.
The 2 lines represent my life and his life. The bar that connects it would be, you know, when we met, that connection, and then the space here, it's just kind of the void that he left when he left. Trying to always fill it with new things, you know, experiences, vacations, friends, you know, things like that. And then as I've gotten older, because that happened in October of 16. And as I've gotten older, just really try to find new things that I can, you know, I guess put out there to help people. You know, every time I see someone struggling, I try to reach out. I try to talk to them, see what's going on. A lot of people are hesitant to say personal stuff like that, which I totally understand.
Yeah.
But I guess with this is, you know, like I said, start the conversation. You know, I just want people to feel like they can actually speak on these things because they're not alone. And there's so many people that struggle with these things day in, day out, and never talk about them. And I guess, I mean, that's the scary part, is you never know when it can happen, but sometimes there could be that one day that just pushes you over the edge, and, you know, you may do something unspeakable. And that's what I want to stop. It needs to stop. You know, there's so many people that are taken too soon that have so much potential to impact the world, let alone other people around them, but the world. I mean, it's huge, and there's just so much talent and so much positivity that's taken away. I just want that to stop. I mean, that's the whole purpose of it.
I think what you're doing is very important because it's important to have people that can take that kind of energy and turn it into something positive, something that is actionable, something that like one of your outlets that you described earlier was music. Mm-hmm. And you are an artist and you have created songs based on this happening to you. And one of those songs is Alone. I knew you wanted to address that song. So sure. What in Alone, like go into the lyrics of the song, what really, was it more of a manifestation of that personal story, or was it kind of, how would you describe it?
So it's a mixture of things. The chorus in my mind kind of was coming from my friend's perspective, is kind of what I was trying to do. The chorus is, I've been all alone, searching for my home. And then it's just basically about trying to find the place that you fit in. And the truth is no one really fits in anywhere. I mean, everyone is weird. Everyone is quirky. Everyone is a nerd or something in their own way. You know, everyone loves weird things. So the whole facet of being alone to me is something that you can get past. And I personally have gotten past that. I mean, I have red hair. I was never the skinniest kid. And so I was always put into a little box, always. And I grew up in a good area, and so I was always labeled the spoiled ginger. And that was just kind of my thing. And there was a lot of times I could have just got down, and I did. But as I've gotten older, you know, I learned to twist my way of thinking and kind of turn those negative comments towards me and use them as fuel, you know, towards my personal passions. And I guess the first verse is kind of talking about how, you know, people are always going to come at you in some way or form. And, you know, the first 3 lines of the first verse start with, I don't care, I don't really care, I don't really care. And it's like, you can say what you want, but I'm my own person. You're your own person. Your words don't affect me, you know? And that's what I want that specific section of it to say is, people got to stop thinking they're caring what people think of them, you know? And I know that's hard. I know it's really, really hard. But once you turn your mindset into that, I guess, mold of not really caring what people think, your life, everything just becomes brighter, I promise. And it's crazy because I have just totally stopped caring what people think. And I'm not in a great position in my life, to be honest. I got laid off a couple weeks ago, so I'm struggling to find the right fit for a career, and you know, making music is something I love to do, and because of that, I kind of lost my personal drive with that at the moment, just because I've got so much going on, you know. But I got kind of sidetracked there.
That's cool. Yeah.
The second verse, I mean, it talks about basically like, I don't need you. You know, I'm me, and I'm enough. You know, I'm enough for me, and I don't need anyone's validation. I don't need anyone's commentary or appreciation is always nice, but I don't need awards. I don't need recognition. What I want to do is what I want to do to make myself happy, and that's the number one goal every person should have, is just make yourself happy. Don't try to make other people happy. Don't try to live for other people. You know, doing things for other people is different than living for other people. You know what I mean?
It's true. Yeah.
You know, you can spend your whole life trying to appease other people, and you'll never feel fulfilled. I feel like that's my personal opinion. But yeah, I mean, that's the song overall is just trying to say, you know, be your own person, and for lack of better words, just stop caring what people think about you. You know, because people are always gonna have something to say. Everyone, someone's always gonna have something to say, and there's always gonna be haters. There's always gonna be supporters in everything you do. So just keep moving. Just keep moving forward.
It's a great message to put out into, especially this city. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting forth, thank you for taking the initiative that a lot of people just aren't really, and it's not their fault at all, but it's just difficult to take that kind of negative reinforcement and turn it into something like positive action. Yeah. That's something that that's an example that a lot of people need. So I have a lot of respect for that.
I appreciate it.
How can people find your music? How can people find the brand? Where should they look for you?
So on Instagram, I'm at RKIM317. I don't really use Twitter anymore. I used to use it. I don't really use it anymore.
We don't do that.
Instagram's kind of the main platform I use. Currently, the link to the merch is in my bio. You know, the classic link in bio thing. But yeah, I mean, just reach out. I mean, I'm always here to listen. I'm always here to talk. I love to talk to people. So, yeah. You have
any shout outs to give to anybody that's helped you on the way?
A lot of people. Shout out Alex, my best friend of all time. My family's my huge support system. My girlfriend, awesome. Shout out Alexis, love you. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people. You know who you are. People in my circle, you know who you are. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Thank you for coming on to this special edition of Gap Street this week.